tough game. It's a really good team. We have a lot of respect for them. They're very good at some things that I would say we're maybe average at. They're very good at. So for us to be able to buckle in and get stops down the stretch. Would you like to make an opening statement?
No.
I know Asia don't want to make an opening statement. Anyways, it was a tough physical game, and I thought down the stretch when we needed to get stops, we did there in the fourth quarter.
Becky, what makes Dallas such a difficult matchup, not just for you guys, but for Willie and Mike?
Well, they're huge. I think they're very well coached. You can see they got a system in place. I think defensively they're very good. And then they have skilled offensive players. I mean, Natasha Howard is an all-star. Rika Gubawale, Sabali, and then McCown's a handful. So, I mean, they got a legit big four. They got off to a slow start, but this is a very, very good team. Very good team. They can defend and they can score.
Becky, you kind of just talked about how Dallas kind of poses issues for you guys, but in that third quarter, just specifically that close to the third quarter, what did you guys get away from?
Well, I mean, they hurt us on the glass. That's the biggest thing. I thought they were very intentional. I thought we did a good job in the paint that first half. And so whenever you do a good job on somebody's strength, they're always going to relate back to that. So I thought they were just more forceful, more intentional in trying to get downhill into the paint, whether that's off the glass. Had a couple turnovers in that one that hurt, but mostly offensive rebounds. And then we missed some shots, and then they're off to the races. It's a very fast team. So if you're not efficient offensively, they can really create some problems on the other end.
Jesse?
Chelsea down the stretch there, obviously tight contest. What do you think was the difference? You guys were able to pull this one out.
We were able to get some stops and execute on the offensive end, spread them out a little bit. Asia was huge getting rebounds, deflections. We had to get it done by committee. Like Coach said, they're low down there in the paint, so being able to get stops and secure the rebound.
Just overall, too, this team that held you under, you guys under 90 twice. Now you're able to break past the 100-point mark. What was the difference offensively, you think?
I think we got off to a good start. We were able to get stops and play in transition, which really got our offense flowing, and everybody was touching the ball and playing off of each other really well.
Matthew?
Hey, Chelsea, you had one of your best offensive games, of the season so far, but I think the play of the game to me was the assist you had to Alicia, where you drove really deep into the paint and threw it out to her for the three. And it was really hard to see because, those bigs from Dallas are so big. And I'm just wondering how you saw that and how big of a play that was, because it just seemed at the time they kept shrinking the lead.
Man, I saw three people jump, and so I knew somebody had to be open. So as long as I get a little bit of hang time in the air, I can maybe find somebody. And she's been huge for us on both ends of the floor, and she was able to knock that down. I just took a peek beforehand after attacking the paint, and she was wide open.
And then, Asia, I wanted to ask you, you had 6 blocks tonight. Obviously, McCowan has the size advantage, but just when you're going up against someone like this, is it almost sort of personal that you're like, I'm going to go out there and do my best to try to limit this size mismatch, that even though I'm one of the bigger players in this league, she's got some more size on me, and just try to find a way?
I don't think it's necessarily anything personal. My biggest thing is making sure that I'm there for my teammates, just trying to be the anchor of the defense, just trying to be the best player that I can be on both sides of the basketball. No matter the matchup, if you say I take every matchup personally because I want to win, I'm a competitor. But I just really want to make sure that I can be consistent for my teammates. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm still going to try to be at least in the vicinity to know and try to alter shots. So today was just my day, and I just got 6 blocks. But, I mean, it's a team thing.
Yeah, 7.
Oh, excuse me.
7, count that one.
Paper says 6. Michael, anything from you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Coach, actually, I wanted to ask you about Asia and her ability. It doesn't seem to matter what I mean, that's a big team, a lot of bodies in there, and she's still able to do what she does. I know she's a two-time All-Star, or two-time MVP, but can you just talk about her ability to do that against any kind of defense?
I mean, that's how good she is, right? Even from, especially that first quarter, her locking factor. And the thing was, is she was blocking them and they were kind of it's almost like a chuck and chase. Like she'd block them and then kind of get the loose ball and then put it back. So we were trying to help her as much as we could, sending people down there, sending bodies, because she would guard them well. We guard them well on the initial defensive stand. And then it's hard when they get offensive rebounds because it just puts a ton of pressure on your defense. You give somebody enough tries, eventually, they're going to score. But I thought initially we guarded them well. It was the glass that started to hurt us. And sometimes you get into rotations and you're small on the backside. So this is a team, like I said, coming in, I was pretty concerned with. And I thought we came out obviously and handled them very well in that first half. And we'll go back and see kind of where the wheels fell off a little bit in the third quarter. But at the end of the day, like this team is way better than their 31 points. The wheels fell off defensively, but we got it back. And I guess the bigger point is that, like I said, they become more intentional on what they do well. And so you're going to take a hit. That's a very good team. You're not going to sit there and hold them to 16 points a quarter every time. That's just me being stingy.
Asia, if I can follow that up real quick with, you said every game you come in and sort of, I want to say take it personally, but you want to do your best. But when you're facing that much size, is there anything you have to do a little differently?
I think the biggest thing and the biggest approach that I would say that I do differently is how I look at the game. This may be a game that I don't take as many dribbles, and this may be an outside game inside versus I'm not trying to battle Tier in the post on the block. That's just not a smart idea. So I think the biggest approach is just how can I be more versatile? Where can I still be productive? Where can I go on the court that I am still good at? So I think that's my biggest approach is understanding, kind of flipping the game around, seeing what works, what doesn't, not trying to rush my shot, but at the same time using what my advantage is and going from there.
I think defensively though too, Michael, that it's one of those games, maybe she doesn't get as many rebounds because she's trying to horse people and other people got to come get it. And so it becomes, like she said, an all around team effort. No one person stops anybody. It wasn't just Jackie Young, on Enrique, it's everybody. And it goes on down the line.
And
Thank
Becky, for the better part of 2 years now, we've kind of talked about the rotation and the depth of this group. Obviously, with Candace's surgery, more news breaking earlier this week that kind of thins out the roster. I'm just wondering, as this team continues to win, what's the mind state of a coaching staff that's watching a bench kind of continue to thin out?
It is what it is. I mean, everybody deals with injuries and other off-court issues. I mean, all the teams deal with this kind of stuff. So for us, I think we just have a buckle down bunker mentality. We got to get a little bit more. I'm constantly squeezing the rock, trying to get another drop out of our players, our bench, everybody, but we'll continue to put them out there and put them in situations and hopefully they can continue to be a good and positive energy for us because we will need them.
Good game, y'all. Asia, these cosmics is so comfortable. But you guys flipped the switch. First half of the season, you always say we're still learning and everything, but it's very obvious that something has happened since All-Star break that you guys are clicking on defense, offense. It even looks like you're having more fun out there on the court. Just talk about what's the difference from the first half of the season now.
We got time away from each other. I think the time, even though we were obviously here for All-Star with the All-Stars, but there's that time to kind of just decompress and not really think about the game, gives us that, you get that feel again, you get that itch back when you get back on the court. And I think that's what it came from. Even the first day after All-Star break, it was just new energy. We were like, all right, bet. So I think that time away was good for us. We're like sisters. We get heated, we get annoyed with each other, and we're like, all right, we go our separate ways. But when we get back, we're locked in and we're tight. So I think that time, and I was very happy not being around my teammates because they get on my nerves. But it was that time to kind of decompress that helped us, and I now love them.
She did call me and ask for an extra day,
Yeah, I was like, I'm gotta go.
which I gave.
See you.
That's crazy.
Closing out in here, Ms. Paul D.
What do you guys see the difference? We held Enrique to 0 points in the first half. She kind of got loose a little bit in the second half here and there. What was different defensively on the coverage against her?
I would say we were congesting her a lot, but I mean, we got to put our hat off to Jackie. She was making looks difficult and never really let her get in a rhythm. There were a couple times where she was able to go full steam ahead in transition, but we were crowding her a little bit. And I mean, I know Jackie was watching film on it and trying to be better individually. So I would say she was the head of the snake for that one.
And then the last one for any of you three, Alicia Clark, 4 for 4 from 3-point range. Just what she
Look
meant.
at her.
Y'all better close out.
Stitch did her thing today.
Nelly.
Stitch.
Nelly.
Stitch did
Yeah,
her
yeah.
thing
Oh,
today.
Thanks a lot, ladies.
there's no way to call her Stitch, bro.
Appreciate you.
No, I'm trying to move the thing.
No, I appreciate it.
You know, we had